strong trumper of our family, but my mom has been silently participatory in it, and that has been more painful and damaging for me. I haven't talked to either of them since the night before the inauguration. For anyone who didn't watch that previous video all the way through, my dad, who is a World War II history buff, would not admit the Roman salutes were Roman salutes. I told him he needs to really step out of his bubble and take a look at things, and he said, "You think you're better than me? You think you're better than me?" Which, like, I don't know what do you even say to that? Like, that's the way it works. Like, you want your kids to be better than you. So yes, somehow my brother and I ended up the way we are. My mom has always claimed to be apolitical, even though socially she's probably even more bigoted than my dad. My mom didn't need to be indoctrinated by Fox News to become a racist, bigoted, misogynistic pick-me. She just hides it really well, which is why she is more damaging to me than my dad. And this has a huge overlap with the conversation about emotionally immature parents and that sort of thing, because a lot of people will talk about having like overtly abusive, angry, whatever parents. Like, my dad definitely falls into that category, not physically, but definitely emotionally, verbally abusive, for sure, 100%. But the way my mom abuses her kids is by manipulating them. It's by taking on behaviors that make it look like she's a loving parent. But if you do what she perceives as a slight, she will flip out. The night before the inauguration, I told my dad I cannot associate with fascist sympathizers and apologists. And I meant that.
People are so over, and I've never seen a group of people at any point in history where people are so overly emotional about what is going on politically, but they are willing to basically throw their family under the bus as a result of it. Let me tell you something. My family is true and blue Democrat. Even though I believe that they exhibit conservative behaviors, they're conservative with their money, they're conservative as far as how they see gay marriage, they're conservative about men going in women's bathrooms, they're conservative about how they live their lifestyle. Let's be very clear. We have been taught as black people to vote blue. And I have broken away from the Democratic plantation. If you think for 1 second that I am about to not kick it with my family at Thanksgiving and get some good cooking, you are smoking crack, bro. We don't even talk about politics when I link up with my family. I don't talk about politics when I link up with my mother unless you want to tease me, or I want to tease her, or I want to use her as an example when I'm on a Millionaire Morning Show. You know what I'm saying? So when I see people overly crashing out and not honoring their parents because they feel some type of way, and they're using Democrat propaganda and rhetoric in order to justify how it is that they want to distance themselves against the people that has given them the opportunity to be as successful as they are today, it is amazing to me. I truly don't understand it, but that is the state of how things are. And now it's unfortunate because, as a person who has spent an enormous amount of time with a phenomenal family, and, my father passing away now, it's 8 years, about to be 8 years, I can't imagine not being distanced from my father because we got a different political perspective about who it is that we want to vote for or who we support. And so what people are now doing, like her, is that they're throwing these blanket labels on people that they really probably don't even understand. Fascism, racism, all of this stuff, right? And I think it's so unfortunate. It is. It's truly unfortunate that people are now suffering from the delusion of programming when it comes to online programming, social media, politicians, and they're not going to do nothing for you. They're not going to rock with you. They're not going to help you. They're not going to be there for you. Ain't nobody going to save you from yourself. But now you've distanced yourself from your parents. I've always said on the Millionaire Morning Show that I don't agree with 100% of anything that anybody says. And so for me to have a disagreement with my people, we don't all have to 100% agree, but I can 100% honor them. I can show them love and respect, and I can respect the political process. As a matter of fact, I don't even ask anybody how they vote. The only reason that we have openly differing perspectives as far as what we share with each other and how we vote and how we look at things is because I'm a content creator. Is because I'm very open and I'm vocal about what it is that I do on a regular basis. But if it wasn't for the fact that I'm a content creator, then it probably would never even come up because we don't care. We are focused on having fun. We focus on having a great life. They do what they want to do. I do what I want to do. We come together and we break apart. But, for people to be so programmed with what goes on politically and to let that impact how it is that they interact with their own people is unfortunate to me.
100% meant that. Like, that's actually the fact that you cannot see that this is what it is actually makes this decision very easy for me, because you are so far gone that I don't have to question whether not ever talking to you again is the right decision. Sidebar, when I said that I can't associate, he said, great, now you made your mother cry, good job. So just so you know what we're dealing with here. 3 days later, like nothing ever happened, my mom texted our group chat with me, my fiance, my dad, my mom, and my brother, and was like, hey, we're gonna be in town for whatever doctor appointment. Do you want to all get lunch? And all I said was, I do not associate with fascist sympathizers. Which, by the way, was she crying when she heard that the first time, or did she not cry and you're just saying that to make me feel bad? Or was she, and now she's just pretending like it never happened? All of these things are like probably the truth. Anyway, because I said that, she like flipped out in this group chat with all of my most loved ones. All the things we've done for you, this is too far, blah, 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 blah. Mom, you voted for him. You've claimed to be apolitical. You've listened on the phone while I've like basically cried to you that if we ever wanted to have a kid living in South Carolina, like I could fucking die. And she's like, oh, I had never thought about it that way. Like, and you claim to be apolitical, but these things, like, you hear the sadness, the fear in your children, both me and my brother, and it doesn't register to you. It registers when you feel like your kids are being taken away from you, though. And your idea of bringing your kids back into you is to insult me and embarrass me in this group chat. So this overlap of toxic politics and families falling apart, I feel like they were probably toxic even without the political infiltration a lot of times. The things that made the family members toxic are what makes them drawn towards MAGA. So much more.
Honestly, again, like I said, this is unfortunate that, so many women, because I don't see it happening for men. It's always super emotional women. So many women find themselves distancing themselves from their family. And their mother is right. First of all, the mother is supposed to follow the father. Secondly, this is the reason why people don't talk about politics in their family. This is the reason why they don't talk about politics at the dinner table, because this is the type of stuff that happens. People then distance themselves from the person that actually gave them life. And, and it's not saying that they owe them anything, but at the same time, if your parents say, hey, we're about to come into town for a doctor's appointment, do y'all want to get lunch? You telling me that that's going to impact you? That's going to be the thing? And so people then they clam up, they shell up. They choose not to communicate with religious conversations or politics and political conversations and, all of that type of stuff. Money, they don't talk about money anymore. So people remove themselves from the conversation when it comes to that. And again, a lot of it is tied to the fact that people are not emotionally stable enough to handle the conversation, be objective enough to separate how it is that you feel about a political process versus how you actually interact with people on a regular basis. We treat people on the street better that has a different perspective than us, especially when it comes to politics, than we treat our own family members sometimes. Like, we give them grace. You don't know how these people vote. I'm around people. You see me, I'm in the airport right now waiting on my flight, and I'm having this conversation with y'all, which some of y'all probably like, hey, man, this dude Anton is crazy. He'll do that anywhere. I will. I absolutely will. I will set up and cook on this app every single day, no matter where I am. As long as I got a laptop, I'm going to cook, right? But I interact with people every day that have a different political philosophy, different mindset, different life circumstances, different socioeconomic status, and I don't care. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and then when I cut this off, and then I go and live my life, I'm going to live my life, and then I'm going to treat people like a human being. You know what I'm saying? I think that most conservatives, like, there's always extremes on both sides. Most conservatives, most Republicans are able to separate themselves from how they feel, from what it is that you're going to do to people and how you're going to treat people and whether you're going to respect their civil liberties. But, I think that a lot of people want to live in an echo chamber. They want to live in a space where people agree with them 100% of the time. I don't think that that's productive. I don't think that that's conducive. And so I see things differently. I honor my parent 100%. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Let me know what y'all think inside of the chat.